You get presentable. Chicken nuggets or wings? Wings, guy, any day. Wings any day, guy, Katri. Because I can't fly. I can fly with wings, but I can't fly with nuggets. You get? I used to fly. Breed. You want to breed for a second? Holy. You want to breed for a second? Holy. And Google contextualism. Do some research on that contextualism. Hmm. Yeah, so guys, he doesn't want to introduce me well, but yeah, my name is CJ Rockstar, and I'm on Twitch. So you guys follow me on Twitch. Check me out on Twitch, CJ Rockstar. Yeah, make sure you do the honors. So yeah, I fully box and piece for a living. So yeah, only a few will understand. Only a few. But yeah. Yeah. So we're talking about some stuff, in relation to the topic, and now we're going into the nitty gritties, of things. The nitty grits. Yeah. So what's the question again? Yeah. So what's the question? Toxic relationship, right? Something like that. Relationship, leave or stay? With when kids are involved, right? All right, guys, we're writing. They can do co-parenting and shit like that. Yeah. It can be aba leaf. It can be, ginger leaf. Ogo. Oh, leaf. Ogo itself. Master Ogwe. Oh, Fanda. Holy. That guy was very wise, oh. Holy. Long neck lad. Guys must have eaten Ogos. Hmm. Wait, there was a new Master Ogwe. Wait, you're talking about Master Ogwe like the tortoise, right? Oh, the YouTuber. Nah, no, no, no. I'm talking about Kung Fu Panda guy. Probably, I don't know. Ogwe, like how Master Ogwe. Alright, guy, back to topic. We're not going to answer this stuff today. Oh. We're not going to answer this stuff today. Oh, Ogwe. Oh, I'll subscribe, sure. I never knew it. Yeah, see, yeah, Kung Fu Panda. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This Kung Fu Panda, yeah. But this guy's from Master Ogwe himself. And it's ironic because the Master Ogwe itself is actually it's supposed to be wise. For him to be stupid is yeah, is revealing, I suppose. A fixture. Holy. Arsenal versus Tottenham. Alright, so back on topic, guy, back on topic. So I'll start by saying first I'll start by saying, first of all, when kids are involved, right, in a toxic relationship, the kids have to be the priority. So now we have to start from the foundation of the kids, right? Obviously, we know it's a toxic relationship. So again, we have to know the we let's yeah, build is metal. But I suppose we have to have a general rule, right? And then when we set the general rule, we'll go into anecdotal experiences, right? Each individual experience, right? So let's have a general rule now, irrespective of how long the couple have been together, or we're just talking about kids involved. This is the general rule. So if there are young kids involved, the kids have to be the priority, right? And if the kids are the priority, then we have to look at statistics and all this kind of stuff. We know that statistically it's better for kids to grow up with a father figure and a mother figure, because psychologically, emotionally, they grow and mature better in that way. um this is not saying that a father can't do the job of a mother, or a mother can do the job of a father, but it's just best for the child to you know be in a good loving family. Checks. Yeah, like a disciplinarian. Yeah. Yo, hold on. No, 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 no. Continue, continue. I'm talking. Just searching up something. How do you know I'm searching up stuff? Oh yeah, man. Okay. Oh, you can see me like searching. Okay. Wait. Can you see my screen on Discord? Oh, 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 oh. Anyways, yeah. So I hear what you're saying. I'm just looking. I'm trying to. What am I trying to do? I was trying to do this thing. Open my stream. Like, I was trying to turn off. I'm recording on my Twitch. I'm recording on OBS because my stuff doesn't save my videos. You get, because I want this one to be saved. Yeah. So I'm just recording on. It doesn't save because my VOD, on Twitch, if you play music and stuff, or if you do something, your VOD, your VOD, I don't even know what that is, but yeah, it doesn't save. It hasn't been saving for the past, like, if you go to my channel now, you won't see any of my videos for the past, like, yeah, you have to turn it back on. You have to turn on VOD because some stuff you do like turns it off and then it doesn't save videos. So if you play music from Spotify or like do any like watch any YouTube and stuff, yeah. So your videos won't show. But yeah, so as we both said, we both agree on that point that as you guys have heard that kids are involved, and they have to wear the white skins and all of that. So if they're not on if they're not on white skins, then it's not easier. You need crystal skins there. Okay, run, run, run. So now we've addressed that that's important. Now the next step is there's a toxic relationship at hand, right? So again, another stat I want to put up there is that a child grows and like their psychological development between the ages of 0 to 3 years old. I saw this somewhere as well. Is actually really important because between those ages, a child learns uh intuitively. A child gets things by themselves, and like they start to understand from their own brain. Yeah, yeah. Stupid. I won't even get the chance. You're not using hay. You're not even building at all. You're shooting there at that point and killing them psychologically. Mm-hmm. Okay, so uh I think again, this is all related to. We had a podcast, so if you guys want to watch back at, it's probably on LoveGator's channel on our last podcast on marriage and stuff. We talked about this, but tell me from that, right? In terms of abuse, right? We know that domestic violence, Anyways, actually, let's just okay. Who's getting abused? It can be both sides, yeah. But statistics have shown that again. I'm not. This is just statistically that it's okay. Again, this is the thing. Yeah, this is the thing. I need to the next podcast. I'll definitely do research and shit. But this is just from all the podcasts I watch and like the little research I do myself. You guys can Google this to confirm and verify. But statistics shows that domestic violence is highest in lesbian homes, right? Uh, um, and when even in case of like men and women like that, majority of the time, um, it's not just one way; it's both ways. So even like say for instance, someone reports it has been happening. It goes both ways. It's not like someone is just abusing someone and the person is a victim. Like there's actually like a cause, and like majority of the time, like according to statistics, like the women like instigate these. Again, it doesn't mean that in every situation is the woman, but like statistically, there's a that's those are the statistics. So, but anyways, now we have to look at okay, the who is getting abused. If the woman is getting physically abused in the relationship, obviously she has every right to, you know, call getting abused. But we're talking about man woman here. We're not talking about yeah, we're talking about man and woman. uh the other situation, yeah. So if anyone is getting abused by a man, then obviously, especially in our world, she has every right to call, the to ask for aid from the states and all of that. So, and report it. Exactly. You can report that case, but exactly. But in places like, in Africa and like Asia and stuff where the laws aren't favorable to the women there, you can get away with things. But here we know that. So now we have to before everything. I don't know. There's a saying. Prevention is better. Wait, what's the saying I'm trying to say? Like, is it prevention better than cure? Yeah. So like, Mhm. Actually, yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. But we know that. Okay. Yeah. Prevention is better than cure. Yeah, prevention is better than cure. But let's just talk about cure in this situation. So prevention is better than cure. But yeah, I was going to relate that to like I don't guy it just popped up in my head, honestly. I was just going to relate. Mhm. No, no, go ahead, go ahead. It just popped up. I kind of disagree though with that point. Like what did okay. to fix it. Yeah. Yeah. I said that because of that. I also said it in relation to I also said it in relation to 1 second. No, can you hear me? I don't know what's up in my chat, like on my phone. But yeah, I said that in relation to bro, my phone is bugged, bro. I said it in relation to like to the end cause, like the end goal of everything. So to prevent separating rather than trying to cure like what happens when you separate. But obviously that's the topic we're talking about. So we'll talk about that because in life, things happen. So
Wow. So my audio wasn't working the whole time. Chat. Well, this is
just
why it
selling,
helps
yeah.
to have people in the chat, man. So I've been
Yeah,
speaking
just selling.
to myself, whoever has been on the other end.
Yeah, guys, my
Sorry,
my
but I doubt there's anybody. If there's someone there and you were listening to me just speaking dust,
congrats, yo.
hold on, you've done well.
Congrats.
You've done very well.
You know what?
W
I put
viewer.
in the chat, man.
Holy. So I'll just say it again. We're here talking about a situation where you're in a toxic relationship with your spouse, right? You have little kids that are still like underdeveloped, growing kids, and you're due to the abuse,
Invest house.
you're in the dilemma where you have to choose between leaving the house for your safety or staying for the kids' growth, both mentally and physically. So I'm just saying that again. I said it before, but I I didn't have my mic input set for the stream, but that's that. So wherever you catch on from, you catch on from. Let's go, guys. So yeah, we're talking about we already discussed prevention, right? So um yeah, what do you think, TJ? Who should
So yeah,
who should we're going from the perspective of a woman now, right?
yeah.
You're a woman, your husband every day, every night, you're getting 200 pumped, either a slap or a massive beating, For some reason, I don't know what happened, but let's leave that aside. But you are getting. Actually, I think we'll have to bring that in because if we're talking about whether to stay, if she's staying there, she's going to have to correct some stuff or make the guy correct some stuff and stuff like that. You get me? So, but yes, for some reasons he's abusing you and stuff like that. And what decision would you make? Would you stay or would you advise? What would you advise that woman? Let's say someone came to us. Exactly, someone came to us now. This is the situation. Her husband has been treating her like this. He doesn't like it. She's getting abused, whether physically, mentally, I don't care. She's getting abused, and she has young kids, and she knows she doesn't want to leave the kids because they'll become single parents, and you know how that happens. You know how that. So, what would be your advice for that woman?
So I always, as a philosopher, I always look at the reason, the cause, the adequate cause of things, right? So that is like, why is her husband beating her? We have to start from there. We have to
Well,
start from the
not
reason.
necessarily. Like I said, it's anything abuse. It can be
Yeah.
mental. It can be physical.
So let's talk
I
about
think.
mental abuse. So
I think. Okay, mental abuse.
let's talk about mental abuse because that's like the main one. If it's psychological, obviously there are things ways you can go around that, but psychological abuse is like the main.
Physical. Is it physical you're talking about?
Yeah, sorry, physical abuse is the main type of abuse that
Abuse.
that's
That is
reported.
clearly, yeah, clearly
Yeah,
seen.
so in those situations, we have to look at the psychology of that now. Okay, so why is her husband beating her? Like, I'm going to give her possibilities. You can have your possibilities, and then we'll summarize them and see. Okay, obviously, it's already there. We already know how husband is hitting her and stuff like that. But we have to know the reason behind that. So it might be what's it called? Dissensions, right? Disagreements, right? That's one possibility. So like,
Yeah.
say he wants one thing, she wants another thing, and he's trying to impose his
His
thing,
laws, his rules and
his laws,
stuff.
and like that's the way he sees, like, okay, if I hit her and stuff, like she'll listen to me or something like that. He's trying to impose his dominance. There might be like disagreements. like in position of dominance and stuff like that. What other reasons can you think of? Like,
So dominant. For him
oh,
to hit her. It's
yeah,
either that, or she was also maybe, being, maybe, I don't know, because there are some situations where women get aggressive with men, and like they can't take some stuff. Maybe he now had to defend himself, and ever since then, maybe, that is a possibility that she's using that to say, oh, she's being abused. But are we talking about the situation where she's actually being abused, or she came to you to say, oh, I'm being abused?
situation she's actually being abused, like,
Okay, so
cause
that doesn't matter then. That doesn't matter.
yeah.
So she's actually
But
being
okay,
abused.
so now my point in saying the reason behind this thing is because if we understand the reason, then if there's a solution to the reason, which is not black and white, it's kind of like a gray area, because as
Very
human
grey.
beings,
Yeah.
yeah, as human
There's
beings,
yeah.
there are different things. But if we can understand that reason and they can do some therapy in regards to that reason, maybe it might be, do you know, the reason might be financial situations. Maybe, I don't know, say for instance, the woman might be more financially stable than the man, right? So I'm just giving a situation. And due to that, she feels a bit more superior, right? In terms of like being the one in charge and like making final decisions and stuff like that. And the husband might not like that for whatever reason, say because of his ego or whatever. Like he has like, he feels he's the man, he should be the one saying, making the decision and stuff like that.
Imagine having an ego when there's no money in your pocket. Who gave you the right to? Who gave you the right?
Exactly.
You've lost all right to ego there. You sit down, you wash plates, and you clean the house. You don't have money, you want to start raising voice. Who are you?
So exactly. So what was I saying? So again, so these are the minute details, right? These are the minute details that are there. And so understanding this is like, okay, what's the solution? Like, as you said, Uzom, as you said before, right? It might have started, it might have stemmed from before the marriage, as you said, like it might have stemmed from before the marriage, like there are things they didn't talk about or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So but so what presupposing what we're presupposing again? There's no ideal circumstance because life is not ideal.
Yeah, but we're assuming that, we've completely, we're not talking about what happened, what led to that situation, right? We're in a situation where, what is this woman meant to do? Leave, stay, right? You get me? Under the circumstances that she's being,
yeah,
I don't know, we didn't really define the kind of abuse. Was any abuse per se, like,
yeah,
but she's
but
being abused. She's actually being
abuse,
abused.
yeah, abuse.
Yeah.
Like let's just say physically abused,
Okay,
because
physical abuse.
everything, physical abuse, emotional, everything is inside that. I think in a
So,
certain
but she's
way, like
being
that's like
abused. Just say she's abused.
she's
She's
been
being
abused. Okay,
abused.
so in that
What
situation,
will you
right?
advise the woman to?
Yeah, in that situation, my advice would be, first of all, talk to someone. Like leave, talk to someone, because that's your that's your body and everything. Talk to someone. Actually, first of all, yeah, think about, obviously, as I said from the start, kids are the most important thing. So think about your kids first, right, before yourself. Obviously, you're getting beaten and stuff like that. Fact, that's your body. But think about your kids. Like, think about, you have to weigh the pros and cons of living and staying as a person, and you might need to do that. You might need some support or some help from therapy or something, or someone else. So weigh those options. Seek advice from someone.
So which one is
When
the
you talk,
first? Are you saying talk to the kids? Think about your no. What's the list your steps
the
again?
first the first step is go to seek help. Like, highlight the condition. The situation is that you're being beaten and stuff like that. So highlight that, right? When you've highlighted that, then seek help and be truthful to yourself.
No, see,
Go
TJ, sorry, before you say seek help, she already came to us. She told us, she's been abused. She has already assessed the situation. Sorry, you were saying something
She's
about.
already told us. She's already
Yeah,
told
she
us.
knows. She knows. She's
Oh, yeah,
aware.
she knows, she
She's
knows.
fully boxed. She's ready. So
Yeah,
which
so,
one is? Hey, anyway.
okay, hold on. So in that situation, right? In that situation, then, as I said, you have to discern properly, and to discern properly, right?
Sorry, I don't
What
know
you
the
have to
meaning of that word. What's this?
discern is like, weigh your options. Weigh your options. That's what I'm saying. Weigh your options of living and staying. So look, if I leave, if I stay, I know if I leave, it will be better for me. If think about your kids and stuff like that, and then at the end of the day, the choice I would recommend for her to make is to stay in the relationship, but look for a way to, because as I said, it's about the children, right? It's about the children
And that,
first.
yeah,
So if you
in
leave,
that instance, yeah.
yeah, if you leave, especially if they're young,
Like if they were
if they,
older, yeah, that's a different
yeah, if they're
scenario.
older, yeah. But
Yeah.
if they're really young, then stay in that situation. And even if it has to be like co-parenting or something, say like they go to his house for 3 days a week, your house 4 days a week because of you guys. That's better than just living completely and single parenting. That's my own opinion. So it's
Okay.
better to, you know,
So
weigh your
basically,
options
you're
and also
saying she should stay in some way. You know,
no,
she
I'm
should.
saying I'm saying she should stay regardless, like
Yeah.
regardless, stay in some way. So,
Yeah.
but primarily stay in the relationship, like
Yeah, make sure your
for
kids,
the
basically
kids.
you're saying make sure
Yeah,
your kids are still seeing you, like having that interaction and growing from,
yeah,
what you've taught them and stuff like that.
yeah.
You get?
Another thing
Is that what you're
another thing
saying?
I would say is also in terms of the abuse and stuff. Like we're all adults, right? The people I know I'm talking. I'll conclude now.
The people.
The both parents should be able to like hide the stuff from their kids in a way. If that's their problem, just don't let your kids like see that. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it has an impact on them. So that's another thing I'll say there. So just do the things, peace control behind closed doors, and
Edit only when the children are asleep.
exactly.
Open the edit when the children are asleep. That's the very, the very optimal edit. Hey, God. But okay, I'll speak a bit about my own view. So, first things first, right? Where is the problem coming from? The problem is coming from your spouse, your man. He's abusing you. So, first things first, in that situation, I feel speak with this guy. I know you're coming to us. You coming to us. I don't know whether you've spoken to him or not. You get me? But some people think, it's best to seek help outside before talking to the actual. No. Speak to this guy like, what has happened? Why is this going on? Like, get that. At least try to understand him.
Imagine after that, after you get the person, so you're not going.
Not after now.
Like right after, you just say, okay, let's sit down. Take pen and paper.
The beating you receive. Oh God, it will be tantalizing. but
Oh no.
The man TJ.
That's a different
You
level.
will get full boxed again. You open that edit again. You have to be careful. Peanut butters are real. Okay. So for real guys, the first thing, speak to the guy. Of course, like don't come to him with oh last night I didn't like this. No. You have every right to be angry and all that, right? But you want to get to a better position, a better state of peace. If you even have any peace in the family,
Peace control,
you need
very important.
very important. The peace control is very important. You get me? But you need that level of calmness before you approach him and speak to him about like, yo, what's going on? Why are you treating me this way? This wasn't how you were when I first met you. Maybe he just wanted the box, who knows? But you get me? This wasn't how he was. You have to calm down and speak to him. It's easier said than done, I know, but this is what will work, in the sense that you want to get to a conclusive and progressive conclusion, a conclusion that will lead to a better life. So you going in there shouting, yelling, throwing his stuff out, breaking his TV, it would only lead to a worse situation. You get me? So talk to him first. If you're seeing that okay, this guy's totally lost it, maybe he's doing drugs, maybe he's drinking, whatever reason it is, but this guy is clearly not listening to you. This guy is clearly not a human being. From that perspective, he's not responding to stimuli the way he's meant to. Go out and seek help, like TJ has said, and do that as fast as possible, because people die, man. You can actually die. So do that as fast as possible. Whether it's the government, you need splashes. Splash and start running, continuous running. So so you need to keep running, but get some help for real, whoever it is. First help you should get, honestly, should be like someone that's really close to you, especially like maybe your parents or his parents self. Maybe you're in good terms with his parents. It would be a good point to start with. Like if you go to his mom and say, except his mom starts full boxing, which I don't expect, but you have to, maybe if you can speak to his parents or something, like it's not the best way, right? But speak to someone that will directly talk back to him and let him know. That's the second one for me. Then go to therapy and all that, and but now down to the situation. What are you going to do? Are you going to leave or stay? Is a tricky one. But if you've gone to all these people and still this guy has not changed, which is very odd, he at least should be acting to some level, like if he's a normal human being that wants, at least if he's thinking
Hold
about
on,
his kids.
Pause. I just want to read this comment.
Okay.
Can I just, because I think it's related to what you're saying. Why is it the responsibility of the abused to be responsible with the person who thinks it's okay to harm another living conscious person?
Okay. Why I feel is it's not the responsibility of her alone, right? They are in the relationship together, right? So it's clear, like there's some people that it's just like you come into my house, right? And in my house I keep my shoes in a certain position and stuff like that. So you don't know about my rules. You're coming into my house, right? I know it's still the same thing. There are two different perspectives to it, right? So you're coming to my house. I will tell you where to keep your shoes, right? That's how I want it to be. You won't know that off the bat, right? There's some people that think, oh, it's just okay to slap a woman if she gets you angry. People are like that. So you get me? So what I'm saying is, no, the guy is not. I'm not justifying his reason for doing it. But before you do that, if you're actually in a family, a healthy family, of course it's not healthy, but if you're in a family, right, it's better. Even when I was working at McDonald's, if they said it on the stuff, if you're having any problems with anybody, it was written on the terms and condition, right? Talk to the person first. Talk to the person first. Like, don't be like those little kids in the back of the class. They'll be, mommy. No, stand for yourself. Speak to the guy. Say, yo, look, what you're doing is not cool. This thing you're doing is not cool. Don't take my food. I didn't keep it for you. I didn't bring it to school for you. You speak to the person, right? And you speak calmly, of course. Like, you can be angry, but you don't have to slap him. You don't have to hit him back. Just give him a warning. Then after that, do whatever you need to do. If he comes again, takes your food, he can get the beating of his life. That's fine. But do that one-on-one rational communication with your spouse or whoever it is, so that you're sure they are fully aware that, okay, this is the situation. I told you stop this. You didn't stop. So that you take the next action. Because some people honestly are animals. Like, they are animals. Like, the guy will be thinking that's what I'm saying. Like, TJ was talking about before that situation, right? What if that guy was already in a similar situation when he was growing up? So this is what he saw. This is what he's used to. You get me? So to him, it's normal. Like, oh, that time dad used to slap mommy now. Anytime mommy would talk anyhow, she used to collect. So those are the kind of things, you have to also think about too. But it's not easy. It's not easy. And I'm not removing any blame.
This guy said, does someone need to tell somebody else when they meet him not to harm them?
I don't get. Normally, you're not meant to harm anybody.
Yeah. So
normally,
you're not. Need to tell someone not to harm them.
I'm confused.
Does someone need to tell somebody else when they meet them not to harm them? Like you're saying.
Yeah. No, in that situation, he's already harming you now.
Yeah.
He's already when you met him, did he slap you? No, he didn't slap you. It was when you got married to him, they slapped you. Now that's what I'm telling you. Of course, naturally, you met the guy.
No, wait, hold on. It is or no? Okay, that is irrelevant. But are you a man or a woman? Just type in chat. Man or male or female?
Male or female? Yeah. But you get me. Like, people act. Right, so and that's why I advise. That's why we still have to talk about prevention, because in that situation, that question you asked, in that situation, that question you asked is very important. You know why? Because before they got married, if they actually spent quality time with themselves before getting to that marriage, she would have seen some signs that, oh, this guy is not okay. This guy can hit me if I do this. This guy can do this if I do that. You get me? So that's the prevention we're talking about. So she would already have, except that's what I'm telling you, except she was just doing it for the society. But an ideal situation, people can fake. Yes, he can act, he can do that, but you're getting married at the end of the day. So that's why I tell people, before I get married, I'm going to spend at least 6 months, so I know like, you can't know everything, that's for sure. You can't know everything. So no matter how long you spend, you will still not know everything. Tomorrow they can come out and 200 pump you. That's just life. You get me? But you have to do your own bit of it. It's just like saying, I want to go to heaven, but I won't pray. I won't worship God. My guy, will see you in hell, man. But you get me? So
you will see them in hell.
we will see you. We are here together on this podcast. But you get me? So the situation we have is a situation where she is already being abused, and she never expected it. Of course, she didn't. But that's the situation. So yeah, you have to tell the person, like, yo, look, this is that. You get me? So yeah, I think I've addressed that. Yeah. So
what was the next step?
After I told you, after addressing that, the guy's still out of control. Especially when it's like, if it's very physical, bro, get like help from like actual police people or stuff like that, because you need some physical help. Like, it's either you're running out of that place, or you get me, just find a way to leave for that instant. Like, not when I'm saying leave, I'm not saying like leave like divorce or something. No, like leave, get out of that situation. Because
Can I just stop this? Can I just? I'm just trying to think now. Again, I've never actually. Have you ever like witnessed any of this? Like, again, I haven't.
nah,
So, but I'm
my
just
dad
saying
is not a
that
full boxer.
exactly. So if we think of it that way, right? If we think of it like that, right? Um, if the guy is like hitting the woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is what's the end goal as well in this situation?
Okay. That's
Obviously,
also
his goal is
true.
not to kill his goal is
If
not to kill.
you never
You get
know,
what I'm
man.
saying?
You never know, man. Some people might be out. I mean, it depends. It
Yeah,
depends on
yeah,
how
it
long
depends on
he's
the
been carrying
emotion.
on.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So of course, like this thing, once you see this kind of behaviors, immediately you should act on it. Like, it's not something you just let. Although people will rather keep it to themselves because they don't want to, come out and say their relationship is not really working out. And
Sorry,
you
I just
get
want
me?
to address Initonor because Initonor keeps persisting on this point.
Okay.
And it's related to. I'll answer the question, or do you actually? I'll read it. You can answer it. It's rational to think that it's the responsibility of the abused to pick up on subtle, subconscious cues that lead up to
It's both of
abuse.
their responsibilities.
It's like detecting a knife on a person before you get stabbed. Is it your
Mhm.
fault that you did not see the knife?
Are you listening to me at all? I said
Exactly.
it's not.
Initonor, you're
You're
not
not
thinking
listening.
logically right
Like,
now. Like,
no, it's not like you're not thinking. I think you're letting your, I don't know, are you like, first
emotions or
questions, I
something.
hope, like, honestly, I don't know whether you've gone through any situation or anything, but try to keep those experiences, those maybe I'm not saying anything to you
Yeah,
personally,
yeah.
but I
We
feel
never
it's,
know, but
it feels like you're speaking from a place of trauma. You get me? So
yeah,
keep it
yeah. That's
aside
what I was
and
asking the
actually
question.
like
Yeah.
open your eyes and listen to me. I said it is not anybody's. They are both responsible for themselves, right? But you now want to take action. The girl wants to take action on her life. She wants to take control of her life, right? And she also doesn't want to leave her kids. Don't forget that. She doesn't want to leave her kids. You get me? So if she's not trying to leave her kids at the same time wanting to separate, because she actually wants to get, the only reason she's going to meet someone to talk about this is because she's thinking about the kids. If she's not thinking about the kids, she will not even ask anybody. Get out. You get me? But there are kids involved now. You get me? So if there are kids involved, at the end of the day, would want the kids, the end goal for any discussion about family should be to bring the family together. And you can't tell me there will be peace if she cannot even have a one-on-one conversation with the guy and sort things out on a one-on-one interaction at personal level. You get me? So you have to do that at first. You get me? Then if it's not working, I'm not saying, oh, you must do that because you are being abused. No, I never said that. I never said, oh, the abused must do that. No. But if the abused is trying to get to a situation where he or she can live in the family because of the child, right? Maybe even if it's for a certain amount of period and just leave when they are done raising children to a certain age, that's fine. But the only problem with that is going to be if you're just doing it as a contract based event, like, oh, you're doing this from now till 18 years when they've grown, you'll be doing it like a business. You'll not have love and compassion. So we're trying to
See what you said there. See what you said there. You'll be doing like a business.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you answered the question? Sorry, because you
No,
kind
no,
of
no.
like
I'm
gone.
still no. You keep asking me
You,
questions from your Twitch, so I'm responding. So you get me. If you keep doing it that way, it's
yeah,
going
just
to be
like
like.
yeah. I'm just saying like cause of time. What to like move on, you know?
But you
You've
keep
been talking
asking me
for a while.
questions from your Twitch.
Oh yeah. All
You've
right,
done
yeah,
it
I got it.
twice.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
see,
Okay.
so
Finish
this
up.
was chat. This was going to happen. We'll read the chat after, right? But once we're
Yeah,
talking
already
about a
talking.
specific point, everybody will say we'll both give our views. Then we'll talk about the chat. So in case you feel TJ is ignoring you or anything, or I am ignoring, no, we'll just
Yeah.
read the chat
That
after.
would be better. That would be better.
Okay. So yeah, the first step, talk to the person directly. Talk to your spouse. Let them know about the situation. Second, if that didn't work, he's still the same. He didn't change. He's just a freaking beast. Seek help in any way, the most effective way possible in that situation. I don't know whether you're getting beaten, the most effective help you can get, seek it. You get me? I don't really know all the different kind of helps you can get, but I know there's help from the government in some places and stuff like that. There's help from your parents and you have brothers, you have siblings. They could literally come there and full box him. Just seek help so you be safe. You get me? Seek help so you get out. Seek help and get out. That's the second one. And now, after seeking help and getting out, I still, me, I'm also like, because of the kids, right? I won't tell her to leave. You get me? So because of the kids, I won't tell her to leave. Meaning, you have to actually, for a certain amount of time, be separated. Like, go, I don't know, you guys should kind of live apart for a while, because once he has gotten to that stage where you guys are getting physical, you guys literally can't stand each other. I've been in that situation where, this one's just my dad, like, when you know that every time, like, sometimes my dad will just, you can sense when someone is tired of you in a house. Like, I could just sense it, you get me? You know. So you're not welcome. It's like you're not welcome, or like you're just, anytime you're around, they're not at peace. It might be because of, honestly, I won't say it's never one-sided, because maybe some things I'm doing were making my dad like annoyed and always puts him in a bad mood. You get me? So that's one perspective. But him not, telling me, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, that's also his own fault too, because like that's exactly what I'm telling you. You have to bring it to the table that, oh, look at what you're doing, stop doing this. You get me? So maybe my dad also told me and I didn't stop. You get me? So these are the things I'm giving you. So separate yourselves for a while. Relax your nerves. You get me? Then walk from there. But try to keep the marriage going. Try to be there for your kids. Your kids should always have that two-sided co-parenting. You get me? Because it's very ideal for their growth and stability, mentally and physically. So yeah, I think that's my take. Wow.
So your final answer is stay.
Stay,
But
stay, but
yeah.
stay, but be separate for a while. Like, you guys can come together or what, I don't care, but that separation should not mean you're separate from your kids. No, separate from the guy. Separate from the guy, separate from the woman, so that, because people can get really physical when they can't handle their emotions. So just keep that distance for that moment, for that time being, because what happens in that situation when there's separation is they actually sit down, both parties sit down and recollect, and people still talk to them, because, oh, why is there no dad at home? So people will reach out to them, whatever way, get sort of talks, you get me? So they are healing, but separately, because the aim for separation, I didn't say divorce, the aim of separation is so that they can they can get external help from people while they are not together. Because if they are together, getting help from somebody is good, but the guy is still there slapping you. You get me? So just make that separation. It's very key. Then you can go back to the situation when everything is chill, if it ever happens.
This is not by the way, in it or not, this is, I can't change my title because I changed my name. So this is actually not Fortnite we're doing, obviously. We're having a conversation, but this is not Fortnite versus Royale. But again, everyone has their opinions. In it or not, everyone has their opinions. I'm going to read his chat, Uzom, so you can respond to them quickly, and then I'm going to just I think we'll move on. And the reason, sorry, I just remember something. The reason I said prevention is better than cure is because when we started talking about marriage, I don't know if you were here in it or not. We started talking about marriage like a couple of months ago, and that's what I meant by prevention is better than cure. So before you get married to someone, you have to like vet the person, as Uzom has said already. So obviously that doesn't guarantee that there will be no domestic violence, but it's better to do it. So I'm going to read his points. He said, wait, I told you the one about the knife, right? And he said, I don't know how you lead into these points from my question. You're assuming that the person who thinks it's okay to abuse another person regularly is willing to sit down and have a conversation about that. That's the first thing he said.
If he's willing to sit down and get married, he can be willing to sit down. So because he's still the person that sat down and got married, right? He's still a human being at the end of the day, right? So except you're dealing with a beast. That's what I told you. If you're dealing with a beast, get out. You would know if you're dealing with a beast. You get me? From if you are really living in that relationship, right, and you're sure of what's going on, you'll be able to tell, oh, is this someone I can, speak to and stuff like that. You will know. I'm not saying, oh, just be done. That's what I told you. There are some certain, even mad people. There's how you approach people that are insane, right? And they won't hit you or anything. You come, you be calm, you be composed, ready to, what do you call it?
If you are Apororo though, they won't be able to.
My guy said Apororo, guy. You are not. Apororo. From today, I ban you from calling yourself a Nigerian.
Apororo.
You have to call it well. Apororo.
Alright, so next question. You're assuming the person who abuses their wife, in brackets, is rational enough to sit down and have a conversation. 1. 2. You're assuming that they live in a place that
What's
they
my point?
can seek help, a state that can provide the amenities to help them.
No, I
3,
didn't assume
live
that.
apart.
Hold on. First
Uh,
point. I think I
okay.
don't know if I clarified the first
Again,
point.
there are assumptions,
First, what's the
according
first
to
one?
him.
What's the first one? I need to write this down. First one.
According to Intel. So the first assumption is you're assuming the person who abuses their wife in brackets is rational enough to sit down and have the conversation.
Enough. Okay. Second.
That they live in a place that they can seek help, a state that can provide the amenities to help them.
They live in a state that can help them.
That can provide amenities to help them.
Okay. Third.
Third, live apart. Usually, a person who is susceptible to abuse is in a position where they have no way out. There are much cases in America where women enter into green card marriages. This is cited a lot in the work of Kimberly Crenshaw. All right, so
Okay.
basically, he's saying, you're assuming they should live apart, and they're saying,
And you can't live apart.
yeah,
In a situation where,
person who is
okay,
susceptible to
I
abuse
like all these questions. Four.
have no way out. That's all.
Okay. The first one. That's why I keep asking, are you listening to what I'm saying? Or are you intentionally filtering what you don't want to hear and listening to what you want to hear? Because when I was talking about you were saying the person is rational enough. I said except the person is a beast. You heard me say this, TJ. I'm pretty sure I said this. Except the person is a beast. Right?
Wow.
If you come in a calm state, the person will at least give you some talk time. That's what I'm telling you. Like, no matter how crazy that person is, right? You got married to that person, meaning you saw some sanity in the person. Except you were deceiving yourself, like I said before getting married, right? You saw some sanity in the person, meaning there's still a possibility of that sanity being there. If we're talking about these kids, remember we're talking about these kids. If we're talking about these kids, we have to also think about a situation where they live together, because that is the best situation for the kids, not for the person. Because we're not trying to be selfish here. Well, yes, we're saying, oh, you have to be selfish in the sense that, okay, you have to stay alive. That's what I'm telling you, live, right? But also, you have to care for the kids. So that's the balance here. Because everybody in human nature is selfish. Everybody acts in a selfish way.
Touch on that point.
So that's the first one. You were saying they live in a state.
I want to add something to that.
Let's just answer his questions. Okay, you add. Okay,
go ahead.
I think I'll answer it. You answer it. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So I was just gonna add, like,
no.
because you said,
Okay, yeah. We'll answer. I was thinking I'll give my 3 points, but let's do it one by one. So answer it.
So
about the rationale question, the one he said I'm not. Yeah.
The person is rational enough to sit down and have a conversation. No, you've already answered it. I'm just
touch on it.
No, just answer. I was gonna add something in terms of the reason why the physical abuse is actually going on. I have some stats here and stuff like that.
Like you can just write it down. But I was thinking we can just both touch on, like, I give my take on that. This is a podcast, so if I answer his question, I think you should also answer his question. You get me?
So he's not really assuming.
Okay, he was asking me because I'm the one that said it, so I think I'm the one to answer. Okay.
Yeah,
let me finish up then. So you're saying they live in a state that's the second one. They live in a state that can. You're assuming. I'm assuming that they live in a state that can help. I also said that get some help in any way possible. You have brothers, you have sisters. That's what I'm saying. No human being in this life came here alone. I didn't just appear on this earth. I came from somebody, right? And that somebody came from somebody. So everybody's tied in some way. My mom has brothers. My mom's brothers and sisters have kids, meaning I have cousins. I also have friends. Come on now, what kind of human being are you? Like, you can't tell me you have no form of help apart from the government. And government comes in at that. I think government is most likely going to be recommended. I'll recommend you going to the government as like the last thing, like, because once you bring police and stuff into your relationship, man, it's basically wraps. Like, it's basically wraps. It's just like divorce. Again, it's basically wraps. But I feel everything at a family level can be can be taken care of. So it can be well taken care of without intervention of the government. So I never said, I don't know where you got that assumption from, but if you're listening properly, I said seek help in any way. And I'm pretty sure I said brother, whether your brother or her brother, I mean, whether her brother or, her parents or the guy's parents. I kept saying things like that. I don't know whether maybe his dad or mom, maybe they work in the government. Maybe that's what you were assuming. But no, this guy is not the president, okay? So now you're saying no way out. Meaning she got, what is no way out? I'm confused. What is a marriage that you have no way? What is a no way out marriage? Except you are being trafficked. That is a criminal offense, my guy. You're not
replying to you. What is going?
Wait. When I'm done.
He's replying to your second point. Okay.
When I'm done. No way out. There is nothing like marriage if there's no way out, because you came. Okay, wait. No way out. It doesn't make sense. You walked into that. That's what I'm saying. If you came you walked yourself down that aisle to meet your husband. You decided to go in. Anything you decide to go in, you can always decide to come out. So I don't know what you mean by no way out. This is not a prison. This is not a, even court marriages can get annulled. They can get annulled if some things go wrong. Except it's a situation where she's being kidnapped, and that one is a criminal offense. The government would have to handle that one immediately.
What he's saying is you're advocating for a no way out marriage when you say they should stay for the kids, though. Not necessarily.
No.
I'm not necessarily saying that.
No.
What he's saying is seek help first of all, and then he even said leave. He said
come on now. Are you listening?
We're thinking of the kids first. Just keep listening.
Now.
Like you have to listen.
Now you have to actually listen and put aside. Throw
put
away that
aside
filter. There's a filter somewhere. Throw that, unclog that point.
Try and listen without any bias.
Let all my information go into your head, then you process it. Because honestly, everything you've asked me here, all these assumptions, you are the one that's making those assumptions, or you are the one assuming. You're actually assuming I'm assuming this, because from everything I've said, I've left it very, very vague. Even when I was saying seek help, it was vague. When I was saying marriage, leave, I said leave. So come on, buddy or girl, whoever is there, like, please. And he said he was saying something about my second point.
No, just finish. Go to your third point.
I thought I did. Yeah, I said no way out. Like, no way out. Like, there's nothing like a no way out. Like, that's literally trafficking.
This guy has bad takes. I regret clicking into this phone. If everybody knows.
No, is that what he said? I have bad takes.
Yeah, that's his opinion, guy.
No, let him say. No, say it. He said I have bad takes.
Yeah,
in
he
what
said
sense?
you have bad takes. Like, that's all.
In what sense? Okay.
Obviously, from all these assumptions, that's his opinion.
Okay.
If everybody knows they were going,
I'd like to hear his takes though. Well, yeah,
that's what he's saying now. If everybody knows they were going to get married to a beast, then literally nobody will be abused. Facts. Obviously, as we already said, you don't know he's going to be.
You don't know.
You don't know.
You never know everything.
That's the thing. That's why this is actually why it's important to, as Uzom said, the time before you get married. Like, if you guys are staying with each other or stuff like that, obviously you guys can. It doesn't mean that you see everything when you guys are staying together for the first 6 months to a year, but you will know, like, just from
you'll be able to pick up on some signals. Yeah.
And again, we're going to go back to the reasons for abuse in a second, but let me just finish reading all this. You are applying general rules to a specific case, a married woman with children. Abuse goes much further beyond this example. Well, that's the case.
But that's the case we're talking about. We chose that case. That's the case. You have to also put yourself in that box. You can't. Like, this is the topic we're talking about. So sit down in the topic and analyze. And also, I don't know whether you heard me when I was saying is either this, because it sounded like a gender stuff here. It's not gender stuff. I said we chose to talk about the woman stuff right now because you're coming from a perspective from if it's just the woman getting abused. We'll switch it to a man, and I hope you keep the same energy because it's getting it's honestly sounding like he's doing some feminist stuff in the background.
The reason I asked, are you a man or woman, is because I know you're like
honestly, like my guy, I love women. I love women, my guy. Like, bro,
no offense to
I'm not
anyone.
I'm not trying to propagate
we're not
any limitation of rights here, and I've been very clear with what I'm saying.
If everybody knows, I said that you're applying general rules to a specific case, a married woman with children. Abuse goes much further beyond this example. Okay, I read that. Sorry. That's incorrect. Immigrants, especially illegal immigrants, are completely financially, socially, and lovingly isolated.
Why are you illegal then? Why are you illegal? You're already breaking the law. I don't get you. Did you just say sorry, did you just say illegal?
Yeah, that's incorrect.
Why would you be illegal?
Illegal immigrants.
Are you listening to yourself? You're
So
defending someone that's already in the wrong.
yeah,
I'm not saying don't defend them.
are
You
completely
already doing something
financial.
bad, so you
No, but
locked yourself up.
that's like an outlier, right? But again, what you're trying to do is you're trying to
He's
bring
creating
in
very
the
extreme
yeah,
situations
you're
though,
going to the extreme outliers scenarios
and in that
where
situation, you're.
the number of immigrants, the number of illegal immigrants, right,
Mhm.
compared to the number of immigrants. Again, I don't know the actual statistics for this, but I would presume that majority of immigrants
Most
came in the
people
right
are,
way.
yeah, most people came in the right
That's
way.
my presumption. Again,
If
you said
not,
immigrants and illegal immigrants. Yeah, I know that's what you said in it.
what did you say?
Anyways, it's good to say that these sites exist, and I agree they do. But in the immediate case of an abusive relationship, a family in a different country cannot help.
Hmm?
Anyways, you're advocating for a no way out marriage when you say they should stay for the kids, though. Okay, yeah. So, all these points you're saying, again, I think Ozon has answered like we've talked about, the goalpost is the premise of the conversation is the woman in this case is getting abused, and we've advocated for staying in the marriage based on the children. And I want to go back to something. I just want to talk now because Ozon, you said a lot and I took some notes.
Mhm.
And bro, in it or not, just write down your questions and actually like as Ozon said, actually like listen to what we're saying
Just
because
listen, please.
you have to like be logical here and like just be able to
Just
like let's go,
listen. Like
let's
listen
just
properly.
all go
Honestly,
down
all the questions you've
a
asked,
deductive part.
it just shows you've not actually been listening enough. Like just listen, like for real, like
So
listen.
I was looking at the reasons, right, for abuse, and we don't have to research this, but we know that there are different reasons. So the abusive men come from all walks of life. They may be successful in their career and respected in their church and community. Abusive men often share some common characteristics. They tend to be jealous, possessive, and easily angered. This is why I said, okay, hold on. Many abusive men believe that women are inferior. They believe that men are meant to dominate and control women. Typically, abusive men deny the abuse is happening or they minimize it. They blame their partner for the abuse, saying, "You made me do this."
Now,
Alcohol and drugs are often associated with domestic violence, but they do not cause it. An abusive man who drinks or uses drugs has two different problems: substance abuse and violence. Both must be treated.
okay, now,
Hold on. So my point there was these are like some
here's my
reasons
point.
why the men like might be abusive, right? And we have to address these reasons. So
Could I speak before you say something real quick?
yeah, go ahead.
Abuse. You were saying something about abusive. Can you read that line? That particular one you just finished. I was about
The
to write it down.
alcohol,
Yeah, the whole sentence he wrote on that one.
alcohol and drugs are often
Mm,
associated with
no.
domestic.
The whole before that, alcohol and drugs.
Abusive men may often share some common
Good.
characteristics. They tend to be jealous,
Let me stop
possessive,
you
and
there.
easily
Let me stop you
angered.
there. Anybody that is abusive, in fact, abusive people generally have those qualities you've mentioned. So you're making it sound like it's just no. Abusive people abuse people.
Yeah,
Whether you're a man or a woman,
yeah.
abusive is abusive.
Abuse.
What a
Yeah,
man will do that is abusive to a woman is the same kind of if that woman should do it to another man, it is still abuse. I'm just trying to clarify
well,
what
you
you're
can say
saying.
it's a Catholic website and it's biased, but it's still
What is the
like the
Catholic?
reality.
What is he saying?
Like this for your marriage. This is like this. I didn't even know it was a Catholic website, but okay, you can say it's biased, but there's bias in everything, like in life. Like there's an element of bias in, but this is in general. Still, it doesn't mean like this is
So what
a
is
bit.
biased about it?
I don't know what, but like,
Yeah,
what's
so
your
you have
point?
to say what's biased about it. But basically, I'm just letting you know that abuse, in the meaning of abuse, is anything that is harmful, anything that is harmful to another human being. So there's not it's not a characteristic of a man to be abusive. No, it's abusive is an activity. It's just like stealing. If I take money from my mom's wallet, it's still the same thing as my sister taking money from my wallet. You get me? So um we're talking about abuse. So what you've said is a very general thing. What you've said is a very general thing that happens to both gender. Right. Did you just read that question one more time? Let me be sure I answered what he said there.
Yeah, but in it or not, you have to answer what exactly is biased about this, because we just read stats about what abusive people, like men or women, are. Like they tend to be jealous, possessive, and easily angered.
That's
It
yeah.
doesn't mean if you're Catholic you'll be, or if you're
Like it's
Islamic.
not a
Like,
I
what's
don't
your
know.
point?
See, this is why I asked you the first time. People like categorizing stuff. You came here categorizing men and women, right? I told you we are going to pick woman. Maybe we should have started with man, Because I feel if we started with a man, all these questions he won't have asked them. That's what I feel. But that's fine. That's fine. Let's not assume that. We will still switch back to talking about the male gender, right? But I'm just going to let you know that those traits, harmful traits, are harmful to human beings. Abusive traits are abusive to whoever is being abused.
Yeah.
They are the same. If I'm stabbing somebody and a woman comes and stabs somebody, because she's a woman does not because she's a woman doesn't mean she didn't stab the guy. So please, my guy, come on.
So what I
You're
was going to
sounding
say,
very
in regards to like
I don't know.
the toxic relationship thing, right?
Yeah.
I wrote something down. I was going to interject to you earlier.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
For
saying
writing
you'll
it
be
down.
doing like it's a business, like if you're staying. And also in it or not, I see you coming from this perspective as well of like, oh, you think we're advocating for staying irrespective of the situation, right? Like you're doing it like it's a business. Like you said it as well.
Yeah.
This like pen and paper, like just take notes, everyone. Marriage is actually a duty. Like marriage is actually like a duty over love, right? This is how I see like
Especially
commitment
if you
in
have
general.
kids.
Especially if you have kids. So if you have kids, yes, it is a business. Like that's
Once
what
you
I was
have
going to tell
kids,
you.
you're responsible for those children, and
That's what I was going.
you can't tell me I'll come here and tell you to leave your
Yeah,
marriage when you have kids to
hold on,
take care
yeah.
of.
Hold on. That's what
Yeah.
I was going to tell you when you said like you're doing like it's a business. Like you're doing like
It's
a
not
business
really
with,
a
like,
business. Like if
yeah,
you say it's
yeah.
a business like that, you're literally
No,
defeating the
but
purpose
it's a
of.
duty. Like when
It's a duty.
my it's a
Business is
duty,
not
yeah.
like there's
So
a difference between business and
like
duty.
if you have kids, right? If you have kids, no matter what happens, you
No
made
matter
a
what,
vow.
you are responsible.
Yeah, you made it. Like obviously you can't, like you made a vow, and you said in better or worse, like you made a vow. And the thing is, when we make decisions, right? When we make decisions, they obviously vary, and we can change them. Like we can change our decisions, but that decision we made, we have to go back to that decision and say the reason we made that decision was like there was a reason we made that decision. Obviously, the situations were different. He wasn't beating you during your marriage day, slapping your face and stuff. But
Like I said,
you made the decision then when you were in a good mood. Now that you're in a bad mood doesn't mean
like,
you know,
and I like the
change.
premise we put it in. We look. I'm just going to restate the premise, right? They are married. They have very young kids. They are married.
Okay, said
they have
children out of wedlock. They are still your kids.
What is children out
They are
of
still your
like?
kids.
What is
That's
you
very,
see
very
the
wrong,
problem? You see
man.
where you're coming from. You are on the side of
Trying to
dodging
excuse
responsibility, not just
Yeah,
extra. You are
excuse
dodging responsibility. Whether you gave birth to them, apart from rape, which is illegal. If you do it legally, right, you are obliged and responsible to take care of those children. Don't let anybody deceive you. You came together, you agreed to sleep with this man or this woman. You came together and you made this child. You
I'm just coming together and I'm making the child. Just like coming together and child just pops out, Just imagine. But go ahead.
Are you serious right now, bro? Are you
You're
serious
not
right now?
speed. You're not speed, my guy. You're not
No,
speed.
I'm the white kid. There's one white kid that says that. Are you serious right now, bro? There's one copycat kid like that. But yeah,
Copies and paste.
you've not seen a copycat white guy that copies at show
Is he on
speed.
TikTok? Is he on TikTok?
He's probably there. They probably clipped him and stuff. But there's this white guy that copies speed. Oh yeah. So yeah, my guy, like people these days, what I've seen honestly is a big issue with responsibility. People are so big on dodging responsibilities. You know what you did, but you don't want to be liable for the consequences that come after what you did. Why? And that's the biggest problem with society right now. So many. Let's just stay on topic, but be responsible, my guy. Like this is the main thing. Like you have very good questions, but they all tie down to responsibility, and it's as if you're ignoring responsibility. If you're responsible for something, you have to be called to take care of what what you created, what you are responsible for. So kids should be taken care of. Kids, because of your decision, because at the end of the day you decided to get married to that guy, he decided to get married to you. So whether he is getting abused or you are getting, or the woman is getting abused, you guys made that decision. That's what I'm saying. In every normal ideal situation, this is not some court or forced marriage. Not even court marriage. This is not some forced marriage. Court marriages, are they forced?
No.
They're not forced. Because I know some places where they like force you to marry people. That's a different scenario, right? But even in
Divorce
that,
is allowed
huh?
in cases of divorce is allowed in cases
Exactly,
of
exactly.
infidelity, abuse, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was about to say that in cases of that too, it's still, So I don't see why
Again, like it all goes back to like the kids, right? The kids are like the priority in everything.
in that moment.
So
Yes.
again, as a person, right? Like this is why Uzam said stuff about trauma. Like if you went through trauma, before you and you didn't actually fix your problem or do therapy and you went into marriage and you haven't fixed that issue, that can be a contribution. But as a parent of a child, you want your child, as I said earlier at the start, to go through the best psychological growth process. So, and that will involve two parents. You can say, oh, if I go or something with my child, if I have brothers that are uncles, they can replace the father figure. You can say like you can replace the father figure in different places, but the most ideal situation is the man and the woman, husband and wife. That's the most ideal situation. And so therefore, obviously, we know that now. So now it's
Not even the most
fixing it.
ideal. It is the most optimal. It's,
Optimal.
it's
Yeah,
the
the most
most
optimal. Yeah,
optimal. Not the ideal.
for
It's
the
the
child.
most optimal for the child.
Yeah. So, and that's what we're talking about. So we know that's all we know. Now it's like, okay, I'm getting beat up and stuff like that. Fair enough. Now this is
Leave.
what we said the
When I
reasons.
say leave, in that situation when it's very severe, you can't. I said it. Go out of there. Separate. Right. I don't mind. You don't need to come back to live with him. But your kids must be seeing you on a weekly basis at least.
This is the thing, right? This is the thing. This is the problem I always have with all these kind of things, right? So we know like every like human beings, even like is known that men are like really logical. Like we have to think, right? We have to be logical and think things out logically, right? Obviously we have men that are more emotional than some men and stuff like that based on like family problems. We all know this, right? But now, okay, we have to go down into the bottom layer of why is the man beating the wife, and why can the man not stop beating the wife? like like let's get a bit anecdotal, right?
Yeah,
I'll
let
say
me
for my
write that down.
yeah.
So we're doing a kind of change of topics now. A
Yeah, it's
shift
kind
in
of like
topic.
it's
It's a
kind of
shift in
related
topic.
because
Yeah, it's a shift, but
yeah,
it's related. But we're shifting.
because it's basically the reason for the beating,
Yeah,
right?
why? Yeah, why
The
are you
reason,
getting full boxed?
the reason for the full box, you should be able to
Why are
hold a
you?
pump,
As in, you should be able to
of
shoot
course.
your gun.
Like
Holy.
seriously, you should have a gun, literally.
I'm not
You need
saying
to
shoot,
start
so
that
guys.
one.
I'm not saying shoot
We're
anybody.
not saying that
We're not
though.
saying shoot anybody.
I'm
We're
telling
talking
you,
Fortnite
hey,
terms here. This is Fortnite terms. You have to check
yeah,
your Fortnite
you
dictionary,
have to play, yeah,
please.
that's why it's
Anytime we're
Fortnite
speaking,
Battle
come with
Royale.
your Fortnite
It's okay,
dictionary,
I already named the
please.
Fortnite Battle Royale, so it's fine. They will you understand what I'm talking about.
I love that. I love that.
So yeah, so that's I believe. Hey, this guy said, I believe people abuse another to give themselves the illusion of power and control. Facts. Again, thank you. You're being, that's no offense, but like that's the best thing you said
Yeah,
so far. Like that's
it's
that's
a
a very
general
good
thing.
reason.
Yeah,
Yeah, like people abuse
abusing
for
people
power
are
and control. That's why I said domination.
yeah, that's what
And
abusive
now
people are.
again, we're logical. Let's be logical, right? So this is why at the start I said the reason. Now we've addressed we're going to talk about your reason now, in it or not.
See my hair
Power
on
and
voice.
control.
Holy.
Why does the man holy that's not even straight at all. That's why you're gay. Hey, oh God. So
Ah, nice one.
why is the man, right? Why is the man why does the man want to be in power and control? The reason is because men have this ego in them, like especially if you're a man that has worked so much, you've worked your life and you found this wife and everything, you would there again, this is why women have to know men and women have to know their roles and their responsibilities. And if both parties know their roles and responsibilities before entering a marriage, then when it comes to cases of abuse, they'll be minimalized, right? Because if both parties don't know their roles or are not fully aware of their responsibilities, then it will instigate certain things, right? And so, in terms of what you're saying, the man
Wait,
wants to
wait. Are
get
you
power
done
and
with that
control.
topic? About are you? I want to say something about that power and control that you just said now.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
In general, right? Like this is one thing I have with people and address things based on gender. Egotistical people are people that sit down and work their ass through some tough times, grind, make money, and become wealthy, and can choose a certain type of lifestyle, right? Will not sit down and tolerate nonsense, whether man or woman. If a woman should work her ass off, like, you get me, my mom was working and shit like that, you get me, imagine my mom working her ass off right, and my dad that's also worked his ass off, coming together. So who is going to be the boss? You get me? So there's going to be that struggle, but in marriage is coming together.
What do you mean? Who's going to be the boss? Like, what do you
No,
mean?
who is going to be like, if we are putting it in that context of what you said, because egotistical, right? They want to be on top. Anybody that has worked their ass off to get what they want would want to sit down on top of their lives. You're getting me? But people come with the mindset. People,
because of like we're talking about the man.
no, you're talking about that because most of the times men are the ones that push and drive themselves.
Yeah, but
so,
that's what I'm talking about. That like,
yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's not just a man. It's not a manly trait. That's what I'm trying to let you know. Again, women also have ambitions. Women are also
power is independent of
gender.
Yeah,
you get me. So that's what I'm trying to say. This is becoming some gender war. We're not doing some gender war here, my guy. My guy in the chat. This is not some gender war. What I'm trying to say by this point now is, at the end of the day, things, like I said before, things that are harmful to individuals, to other individuals, are things that are harmful to other individuals. I don't know if I made sense by that, but what is harmful to anybody. You get me? Any traits, any disposition, any character, right? Especially from what TJ said, right? Any toxic character trait is not gender. Like, this is, I'm just making sure we're not having a gender war here, because it's starting to sound like a gender war here. You get me? But I like what TJ said though.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely, yes.
But I think it goes beyond that. I think power just gives somebody the power to do what they always did. Like you said before, abusive people will always be abusive. And then, sorry, I meant that power gives somebody the power to do what they always want to do. Yeah, in it or not, yeah. Again, thanks for the contribution. Yeah,
I really love, like, I like whoever, in it or not, God bless you.
Yeah, in it or not,
like you're making this very interactive, and also like giving us different, pushing us to corners, and letting us peace control our way out of those situations. So I love that.
I was going to say something. Wait, you're going to say something?
No, I think I spoke. You were talking about the egotistical stuff about
the
males.
whole power thing. The reason again. So we're going back to the reason and stuff like that. So we're saying, okay, so and so reason, blah 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 blah. And then if we can, address the reason and see because again, we said one of the things we read there was jealous. Say, okay, let's just think of positive scenarios where a man is, hypothetical situations where a man is beating a woman, like. The major reason I can think of, off the top of my head, is if as I said, the power thing, as you said, is if the man wants to assert something over, he asserts something and there's disagreements and he's angry or something and he's expressing himself emotionally. That's like the way I'm thinking of it right now. Obviously, there's other situations, but that's like the main one I think of. And in that situation, then the man again, this is where I always go back to men as well. The man, obviously, the woman has to take responsibility by caring for herself, but the man is the one that's actually the man and is the one that's supposed to be aware of the woman. Do you get what I'm saying? The man should be aware of the woman.
I'll always say something about that, but I'll let you just finish.
What do you mean?
Like when you both of them are meant to be aware, but that's all.
No. I'm saying the man should be more aware, of the woman,
they should both be on the same time. You see, look. If you say this way, wait. You wait.
Let me finish my point. No, seriously, because I don't think you get what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the man should be aware. Like, maybe I didn't express myself properly.
I've hands up. Don't worry. I've surrendered.
The man should be more aware than the woman, because that of the woman's being inferior to him physically. That's what I mean. Do you get what I'm saying?
Physically,
so physically. Exactly. That's again. I didn't express myself properly. I don't know what you're thinking.
Like you need to be, okay, maybe it's me too. I also need to stop that too. So
yeah. That's what I meant. Like, you should be aware of the woman in terms of if I hit her and stuff like that, I can, if I'm really violent, I could potentially kill her. That's what I mean. I wasn't articulate enough, guys. So
also nice. I like what you said, because
and the woman should also be aware of
the woman should be aware of not just hitting the man, of not playing all those psychological games that men can understand. You get me? Because they are far stronger than men when it comes to those emotional, spiritual stuff.
And again, this leads me to wait, let me just read this guy's chat. I'm glad you appreciate my contribution. I'm glad you're not getting mad. It's easy for people to get mad. No, we're not going to get mad, because this is illogical. This is why we have to say, we have to put feelings aside here and be logical. We all go through. We've all gone through. Like, Uzam and I are different people. Uzam went through both parents. I went through a single mom. Like, my views can be a bit biased. You get Uzam's views might be a bit
Bias too.
less biased because he went through both situations. So like,
Okay.
you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what
yeah,
you're saying.
because
I
you were
didn't even
like more
picture that now.
psychological.
I didn't picture that
Yeah,
now.
you can
Yeah,
be
yeah,
more
yeah.
psychologically like balanced. Because like me,
That's
I saw my
actually
mom.
true. I honestly
I
didn't
saw,
think about that
yeah,
just
I
now.
saw my mom and my dad fighting when I was
Holy.
growing up. Yeah, so like we have different lives, but I'm still logical enough in this situation to say, okay,
TJ
let's
is a
just be
strong
logical
man,
and
man.
put our
He's a
things. You get what
strong
I'm
man.
saying? Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like
Nah, give this
um
guy some W's in the chat, man.
no
Holy.
no 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 no.
WTJ, man.
But
It's not. See, TJ is an exceptional character, man. Like, honestly, people that go through what TJ is going through, you can't come on here and be this unbiased, man. I'm serious. I'm serious, man. But nah, I'm just giving you the props you deserve, bro. Anyway, let's move on.
it is what it
Let's
is. But
let's move on.
again, and yeah, so back to what you were saying, getting mad. Yeah, what was I saying? What was I saying?
You were
Yeah, so
speaking, yeah.
both parties should be aware, and then
I mean, so.
again, I myself, like, I've seen stuff. Even I've talked to my dad now, and I've asked him again. I don't want to like get too anecdotal, but like I talked to my dad, and I talked to my mom, and I saw stuff going on. But like for me, the man is always more in control because he's like, oh sorry, I'm saying this. I'm saying he's more in control because he's physically superior. The woman might be psychologically superior, but irrespective of psychological battles, the man can always walk away. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to the actual physical confrontation, the man should be the one to like walk away. Like that's why we always advocate for walking away. Like
No, I won't cut you off. Like, say your like.
yeah.
Don't mind my views. Just
No, I know.
no. It's sounding like you're trying to. No, don't sugarcoat it. Say it the way you want.
No, I'm
to.
not sugarcoating. Like I'm not
Okay.
sugarcoating.
No, it sound no. I'll be honest. It actually sounds like you're sugarcoating.
Okay, I'm
because-
telling you. Okay,
yeah,
okay. But that's to you, Sha. But
I love
yeah.
that.
So, no.
TJ must
But,
rebound. He has his pump out. He must
my
shoot
power
back.
is there. So yeah. So again, yeah. I think that's. So yeah, my own is always the reason. Like because if we don't look at the reason, right, we can just get caught up in our emotions and our feelings and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm TJ. The one on the left is TJ. That's the one that is like the host, the one that's streaming this.
TJ is the host, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the host of this Twitch channel.
TJ is the host of that one, yeah. I'm the host of this one.
Yeah,
I'm on
like,
YouTube.
Okay, yeah. So the reason. What do you have to say about the reason, Uzom?
Okay, like what causes it?
Yeah, what causes it? Because I've said one stuff.
Yeah, I was. To me.
Like, what do you think? I know you never witnessed anything like that, but what do you like? What's your?
Sorry, 1 second.
Somebody drinking.
This is why you don't eat on podcast.
Oh god.
I need my minis though.
It's not by that.
It's not by drinking, but you drank minis just now.
I drank stuff.
It's-
I'm gonna start running.
I will literally give you a slab juice now. All right, guys. So
Hide your homies. I like that. Hide your homies.
Who said that?
In it or not.
I love that guy.
I love that guy.
Holy. Okay, so what am I saying?
Hydrogen.
It's part of the truth. I mean, take a fixed bomb, man. You're actually a man. Oh. Hey, God. TJ, give me a fixed bomb, please.
Right.
Power to you, man. All right. I'm shouting. My mic is showing red levels here. But the reason behind this, to me, is a lack of self-control and discipline at the end of the day. Because to me, I feel nothing is one-sided, right? So in that situation, what will cause it? If this woman has been mentally talking to this guy like, yo, look at your mates, like they bought me this. Amaka's husband bought her a shoe, a $5 million shoe. You, look at you, can't afford ordinary sneakers. Stuff like that can be getting into his head, right? Stuff like that can lead to all those kind of activities, right? That's one. But then it still boils down to self-control. If that woman was more disciplined and had a better self-control, she would not be comparing her husband to someone else's husband. Instead, she would compare her husband with the husband she married years ago. She'd be like, okay, when we got married, you used to buy me flowers, you used to buy me shoes. What happened now? That's a better comparison than, oh, look at this, look at that. Yeah, it's still like, because at the end of the day, if she doesn't feel well taken care of, if he doesn't feel well taken care of, they have every right to complain and speak. Because if you keep these things back in, that's when it results into violence of all sorts. But as they are coming out like that, it's good. But the way you say it matters, because if you're not comparing your husband to another guy's husband, why are you doing that? You're just degrading the guy, at the same time putting yourself at a risk. That's on the woman's side. On the
But
man's
that's
side,
hypergamy though.
on the man's side, right? You talk about what you want to talk about in a bit. But I just want to clarify. On the man's side, right? If your woman is telling you stuff like that, and you feel the best alternative for you to do is slap her, come on, bro. Like, where's your self control? Where's your discipline? After years of grinding, after years of making money, ordinary words, right? Yeah, words are not ordinary sometimes, man. I can't lie. I can't lie. There's some things that can stab your soul. Like, she can, see, women are very powerful when it comes to that stuff. Like, she can say something that will stab you and you will literally go in. You get me? But, still, self control, man. If you cannot control yourself and say, damn, if I hit this woman now, what will happen to her head?
On the right is, as I said,
get-
LoveGator. That's the
Yeah, LoveGator, one word.
LoveGator.
Like
I'll
gator,
show
like
it to you
alligator.
now,
Yeah, you get me? So, if you can't properly control your emotions and your actions, right, it would always lead to such a situation. That's all I see there. It's just a thing of self-control, because self-control, respect and discipline. Self-control, respect and discipline. Yeah, if you don't have those three things intact, especially discipline and self-control, and understanding too is also there, because if you understand that your husband is going through this situation, so he has to spend less and save more for the kids and stuff like that, you would not be going out there bashing him. And if you understand your wife is just she misses the old times where you used to take her out and do all those fancy stuff for her, she would also feel come on now, what's going on? So she has the right to also ask. That's what I'm saying. Control your emotions, and that won't happen. So it's a thing of self-control, man. Self-control and understanding with discipline too. That's how I feel. I don't know. That's all I see from that. You get me? Because there's no, even when I was with my brother, right? There were times when my brother would say stuff, and I'll beat the living daylight out of him. Of course, like, not, you know what I mean now. Like, of course, like, when I say beat the living daylight, like, it's the beating he can take. You get me? I know what I'll give him, and he will take it because he deserves it, right? But he still deserved it. But all of a sudden, I just stopped beating him. Self-control, discipline, understanding. I'm like, this guy like, I know he's a little guy, so he's liable to make more mistakes than I do. So why hit him? And these are things adults should possess before getting married. But people just want to get married. They don't really know what it takes to be married.
That a bit. I want to talk about on that a bit.
Yeah.
I know this is going away from topic, but there are reasons. There are actually psychological reasons for all this.
Okay.
Like Uzom is a somewhat psychologist. I'm also like a psychologist in my own.
Like,
TJ
is studying psychology, you boys. This is a profession. I mean, okay, philosopher. Okay, I'm studying psychology. You're studying. Yeah.
In terms of psychology, like the reason this is how I see things. The reason men actually hit women, like in terms of this situation we're talking about, like the man hitting the woman, is just, as you said, it's just emotional. Like, it's emotional ego, as you're saying, or dominance. Is emotional damage. It's emotional based, trying to win. And these, I don't know if you guys have heard, like, when in terms of arguments, like, it's better for it to be for the man, right, to not like enter the woman's field. Because when you enter the woman's field in that psychological battle, you basically lose, because when it goes down that path, you've lost. Like, it's better to just be logical and control your emotions to a certain. Obviously, nobody is perfect, but it's better to control your emotions, because when it goes down that path, you literally lose everything, and you can literally kill, like,
guys. Let's not forget about like women that are literally mad, right? You have every right to defend yourself. Don't let anybody deceive you. If someone is going to stab you, my guy, defend yourself. Get something to knock that knife out of her hand and hold her captive. Defend yourself. You have every right to defend yourself from a crazy person, right? But I'm sorry for eating, but I'm freaking hungry, man. But what I'm saying is,
yeah, shut up. Finish that food.
Let me finish the food.
I didn't even realize you were eating till you said I'm sorry for eating. I was just looking.
Okay, so if you hear me perfectly then.
Yeah, I was just looking. Then when you said I'm sorry for eating, and I looked, I was like, oh, you're chewing. Like,
but
like,
yeah, that was the last piece. So I've finished up the food, guys. Holy, it was a big plate, but we thank the Lord for food. But yeah, so you have every right to defend yourself, woman or man. If the guy is being, honestly, if you can find something to hit his head, hit his head. Like, if the guy is holding your neck trying to kill you, bro, find something, hit his head, run. Like, I'm not saying get into a physical combat as a woman. Run if you're a woman. Like, run, use something, hit him, like get help, start shouting, do like, yo, get out. If you're the guy, you are stronger, so you can always, like, hold her down and call for help, like call some women or call some guy, call somebody. You get me? So you always, because at the end of the day, it's a thing of balance. Men are physically stronger, women are emotionally stronger. So she's going to use her strength in some sense to overpower you. And if you are going to also, like, want to use your own strength to overpower her, which is honestly balanced. But I'm not saying, well, that's what I'm saying, is a thing of self-control. You get me? So she should not be trying to manipulate you because she has more emotional, like, power. She shouldn't. And you should not be trying to dominate her physically, or beat her up any chance you get because she's weaker than you physically. So it should be a thing of balance. You guys are coming together to create something that will be stronger. Imagine that emotional strength plus that physical strength is a very significant bond, guys.
Logic versus emotion, guys, in this situation is, and if you let emotion rule you as a man there, and you look back and you start regretting, you're like, oh, I could have just walked away,
Which is why I when people call men feminine, I laugh, because feminine, like, if you're a feminine man, that's different. Like when someone is balanced, the guy can act feminine and masculine. He's more liable to be a far more self-controlled, disciplined human being, because he has the two perspectives. That's what I'm saying. It's very important. Kids grow up with two parents. They will know. Like, it's honestly, it boils down to this at the end of the day.
Very important.
Like, you need the balance.
And even in terms now, let's go, because again, and I like the way we are both of us are different. We're different.
We're different, but we're still making it in the same line.
Like,
so it's a very good conversation.
I want to digress a bit from the conversation, but also kind of like continue it in terms of the effect. Now let's go into like the effects.
How much HP they lose per
damage. The effects exactly of the effects for the kids, because again, and this is something, right? This is something I always say. It's like, if the woman, right? If I think Uzom he said this earlier, if you want to get married, you have to know the pros and cons of marriage. You have to know that there's a risk of this, and you have to be aware before you get into that situation of what you're going to do. You understand what I'm saying, Uzom?
Yeah.
Like, you have to, like, obviously, like, say you're going into something, you're going into the, like,
you know what is liable.
Army. Yeah, you're going into the army. You have to know that there's a possibility of death.
That snipers and
exactly, there are snipers.
260 to the head.
You have to know the possibility, and if you're in that situation, if you prepared yourself, because you can't just be in the honeymoon all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
You never know.
Fix yourself before getting into those situations.
But if this does happen, irrespective of anything, then now we have to say, okay, what's the cure? In terms of, like, sorry, we're talking about the kids. So for the kids now, as you said already, they can be emotionally unstable, psychologically unstable, and so you have to think of the kids, because do you want to keep growing? Again, we're very selfish people.
Yeah.
Right?
Because at the end of the day, we'll just keep making like human beings with, like, very, like, twisted minds. You get me? Like, the more you breed this kind of relationship, the more we have single homes, the more likely we'll have kids that are not mentally and emotionally balanced.
Kids from like single homes, especially like the daughters in there, are like are more likely to be single mothers. Like, I think there's a statistic like that. So if that keeps happening, right, then this stuff will keep happening.
Yeah, it'll be a cycle.
A neutral question: should selfish people who know they're selfish have children? Okay, let me answer that question first.
Everyone is selfish.
First of all, everyone is selfish.
Yeah.
Every human being is selfish, innately, because we care for our survival. That's I don't know if you guys know the
everybody's selfish by nature.
Do you know Maslow's hierarchy, right? Have you heard of that?
Maslow himself.
Maslow's hierarchy. I'll put it up here so you can see that.
The philosopher himself.
Because everyone is selfish. Everyone cares for their survival first, and it has also been said that women are actually more selfish because they are carrying an offspring, so they have to choose the right mate. They're selfish for a good reason. It's not like
at the end of the day, no, selfishness is a bad thing when it's not for the good reason.
When it's for, yeah, it can be good and bad.
Can be good and bad. Like, once it's bad, it's bad. Once it's good, it's good. Like,
so
imagine me not eating the last plate of food when I'm about to die of hunger, and my maybe. Although if I'm in a situation where I have to choose, like, okay, give my son the food or I eat the food, I'll give my son the food. Yeah, like, he's a younger lad. He's a younger lad. And common sense should tell you that, and it's my responsibility, like I said. So imagine a state where after all I lived life for, I could not put food on the table for my little boy. I should die. What am I living there for? So, but at the end of the day, selfish is a very general thing for human beings. Everybody's selfish, even animals, right from the biology of animals. Very selfish, guys. And we're animals.
Human beings can even be more selfish.
No, we are more selfish because we actually have brains.
So we actually have intellect, yeah.
So we have intellect. I mean, we are very rational.
Manipulate that stuff. So yeah, the answer to your question is, if you want to have kids, but know that it's about the kids when you have the kids. Like everyone wants to. And if you don't want to have kids, again, Uzom, I think we're talking about this. Actually, that's a good question. Let's branch from that. I'll answer in next chat. But based on what he said, if you're not, is it more selfish, right? I'm going to ask you in it or not. Is it more selfish to, remember, Uzom, I asked you this question. Is it more selfish to have kids and leave the kids? And become a single parent, which is related to what I was saying, like leave. Because if you leave, right, if the woman leaves that situation that is getting bullied or like, beaten, right, full boxed, then she's obviously going to take the kids, I guess, because they'll be like, oh, he's violent. That's what they'll say, right? Because he's violent, you should be away from him. So basically, my question is, if the woman is a single parent, like, is it more selfish to do that, like to live with the kids, or like sleep around and like don't have like with contraception, basically? Which one is more selfish?
How did we get to the other question? What?
No.
I was not expecting that one. Where did that come from?
Question. So like, because basically, if you don't want people that don't want children will just be sleeping around with like contraceptives or like condoms and stuff like that, right? Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is it more selfish to do that or actually have kids and become a single parent?
That would now boil down to the reason. That boils down to a lot of things, though, because if you were someone that was, if you wanted to sleep around and you got married, right? You would behave in a certain way. Like, you see that situation where you and your husband are not on good terms, you want that situation to be worse, so you can have the permission to leave that marriage and go and sleep outside like you want to. I don't know whether I see what I'm saying. Like,
well, you got married for a reason, though.
You got married for the security now, for the beauty. The society is saying, oh, you finally got married. Oh, people.
It's not a good reason, though.
No, it's never a good reason. Like, that's what I'm telling you. See, nothing is a good reason if you're doing it for anything but yourself. If you're not doing it for yourself, apart from the kids, which like is from your product, you gave birth to these kids, so you're responsible for these kids. Apart from stuff that you're directly responsible for, you get me? Nobody's pushing you to get married. Why are you get married? Because your mom is asking you why are you not married? You're 50 years old. Sorry, nobody wanted to get married to you, or you didn't have anybody that met up to your standards or something. Doesn't mean you're now gonna put yourself in a situation just to make it look beautiful. And you still suffer the consequences if you are lacking as a human being. So that's what I'm saying. But I'll try to answer the question without thinking about that too much. At that point, that's a thing.
The answer you said earlier was the second one, Sha. Oh, sorry. The second. You said the second one is more selfish because the first one is also selfish, but the second one there's actually.
Oh no, I didn't answer. You're saying
when I asked you before, I asked you this question before.
When?
I swear it was you I asked before, like yesterday, guy. I swear I asked you this question. I said, "What are we talking about? We're talking about like this thing." Anyways, but I remember asking you this question.
You asked me whether this topic. No, we didn't have this topic. Yes.
No, it wasn't around this. It was like on single parenthood. It was like having a child, right? Or like I'm being a single parent versus like masturbation and stuff like that. Do you remember?
Oh, having a child and being. Oh, of course, it's the second one now. What?
Yeah.
Oh no, but that's not the situation. You're saying this situation is she already had children and she had kids too. She could either live with the kids or go and live another life and like, I don't know why you chose to say sleep around, but because she could live and get married to someone else. You get me? Like, but you chose.
What I'm saying is you chose to have kids, right? So. Oh no, I see what you're saying. It's
the question you asked. I'm trying to answer. Like, your question was. I don't know why you phrased it like. That's what I'm asking. Why do you phrase it like that? Like, there are so many possibilities. There are so many other things.
I phrased it like that because, before you got married, say you were doing that before you got married, and then you got married. Do you know what I'm saying?
That you were sleeping around.
Yeah, you were doing that stuff like before you got married, and then you got married, and you decide to be a single parent, right? So which one is actually more selfish? Like,
Where you got married. Oh, being a single parent meaning she will live with the kids, right? She now becomes a
yes,
single.
yes, yes, yes. Like, and become a single parent, doesn't get married again, or she was just, or just continue sleeping around. Which one is
Oh,
actually more selfish? That's my
sheesh.
question.
Yeah, the first one is far, far, far more selfish. Like you're living with the kids, you're depriving them of
No, the
that.
first one is like you don't have kids, guy. You're just
What?
sleeping around.
No, no,
Like,
no. Oh, okay, look, I wrote it down here.
it's not that hard.
More selfish is the first one, but since you said the first one is living with the kids, sleeping around, no problem. So sleeping around is the first one. More selfish and living with the living with the kids is the second one, right? Exactly.
Yes.
So if you're living with the kids, you're far more selfish than a person that's just going around to sleep because you've not only decided to ruin your own
It's not
life,
okay.
you now want to ruin the life of those innocent kids because they'll be seeing you. Like there's one thing for you to decide to break up with your family and go out there and try to raise these kids as best as possible. But you can't tell me that you sleeping around is going to be of any. I mean, you wait, what am I even saying? What?
The reason I'm saying selfishness is because
What am
like
I saying?
the reason
I got off
actually
points there.
we'll go back. Let me just read this guy's
That
comment
question
because
is holy. What is that question?
and I'll give you my reason for asking that
One
question.
second before you say anything. Wait.
Okay, okay. I'm going to read your
You can
points.
speak now.
I'm going to read your points. Okay, okay. I'm going to read your points in now. I agree. Actually, selfishness is an inherent human trait. Maybe I should rephrase the question. Should a narcissistic person who knows they are a narcissist have children? I think narcissism is inherent with exactly. This is actually similar to my question. This is actually similar. I
What's
didn't
your
even read this.
question?
I asked the question. He said, should a narcissistic person who knows they are a narcissist have children? I think narcissism is inherent with abusive people.
So what is a narcissist?
Someone that loves, like, self-love, like you care about
No,
yourself
no, no, no.
more.
That's not self. That's self like over selfish, like very, very selfish person, right?
Yeah.
Let me Google that real quick.
Yeah, a narcissist is like someone that loves themselves too much, like,
I want to be
like
sure
has
of the
too much
words we're
control,
using.
basically.
What is a narcissist?
Narcissism.
Narcissist. Because we have to be very
Am
educated.
I, am I shouting? I'm just talking.
Narcissistic
I'm shouting.
personality disorder is a mental health condition in which people
No,
have an
no, don't look at the
unreasonable.
disorder. Don't look at the definition, guy. Look at the definition.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Am I shouting? I'm talking. I'm not.
Narcissism. Alright, CJ is having a 200 pump fight. So you see, hit his
I'm not
shots.
shouting. I'm talking. Okay. All right.
Narcissistic. Oh, all I'm saying here is about personality. Narcissistic personality disorder involves a pattern of self-centered, arrogant thinking and behavior, a lack of empathy and consideration for other people, and an excessive need for admiration. That alone
I'm
is a
reading the
definition.
definition of
Okay,
narcissism, guy.
read yours.
Well, selfishness involving a sense of entitlement, a lack of empathy, and a need for
Thank you.
admiration as characterized in a
Thank you.
personality type.
That is the highest type of selfishness, boys. You get me? So yeah, I've said it before. Like I won't say they should be deprived of marriage, right? But they should fix that. Being a narcissist is a bad trait, and it's one of the traits I was telling you guys to fix before getting into marriages. If you're a narcissist, you can't stop being a narcissist. You were not born a narcissist. You get me? So you can't just. It's just like that's why I laugh when people say, "Oh, I have ADHD." Like I'm not laughing at them because they have ADHD. Like I'm laughing at them because they chose to wear that tag on their neck. Like, oh, I have ADHD, so I'm always like I don't focus, or I can't remember. I think ADHD has to do with like focus and stuff like that. You get me? So like I'm always like very spontaneous and you're literally causing havoc and you're justifying the fact for causing havoc. That's exactly what you're doing. If you have, it's just like saying, oh, I have malaria, so like I'm weak now. Like if you have malaria, you take drugs, you heal yourself from malaria. That's what you do. Like I'm not saying take drugs like for ADHD, but I believe there are drugs for it. But ADHD, if you're losing focus, stop. There are ways to fix it. Go and look for how to fix it and fix it. Basically, I don't know how to fix that, but look for what helps people that have ADHD and find the best way to reduce it. Like
Even talking about
if
ADHD,
yeah.
in terms of ADHD, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, that can actually stem from this situation we're talking about, from this like single parent stuff. Because I've done research on that again, like kids from single parent homes, in terms of like the mother living and stuff like that, can actually affect the child psychologically. So ADHD can also be psychological, psychological thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of, because we're always going back to the question, like answering the question, like in terms of all this stuff, the kids involved, right? Living and staying is you, but the kids when they grow up, they would repeat the same
The
cycle.
same thing, the same cycle. So
If
it's a very
it's not
selfish.
guaranteed, but statistically, it's
No, it
likely.
would happen. It would happen. It's not guaranteed, Sha, because the kids
Yeah,
can meet like
probable.
people that
Yeah.
would, at the end of the day,
And it's
like,
not guaranteed because of what you said. Like you said, like you can fix it.
yeah,
You know,
like
you can
TJ is a
grow and
living example.
go to like therapy and stuff like
Like
that.
TJ is fixed. Like he didn't need therapy. He just fixed it, man. But
Yeah, guys.
props to him, man. Props to him. Yeah, I feel it's very it's very selfish to go around with the kids like that. It's far
Yo,
more
Carl.
selfish. Like if you always wanted to sleep around, then don't get involved in marriage in the first place. Like marriage, not get involved in. To me, what I feel is because if you get involved in sex, there is the likelihood of you giving birth, right? So if
No, I'm
if
laughing at this guy. The guy said he's watching my streams. Like I can't stop being philosophical because
Mr.
he stopped
Philo,
Fortnite. So he's like, no, go ahead.
he
Go ahead.
thought we were boxing up.
Oh,
No,
we're fully. I mean, after this, like after
yeah, we'll
this,
play
we're gonna
after
play
this.
Fortnite.
Yeah,
We're gonna
we'll play
play.
after this. But yeah, like Fortnite is life. But we also need to discuss life too. So yeah, sleeping around. They're both like to me. I don't see any props in any of these two situations. But which is less or more selfish? Going with the kids is, but sleeping around. Holy, the question is a tricky one. Oh. Sleeping around. Leave. Yeah, if you're sleeping around, you're doing this thing alone. Like the question is if you're sleeping around and making kids, it becomes a far more different dynamic. All right, let me write that down because TJ is on the phone. All right, so sleeping around, making kids, right? Or sleeping around without kids, without like giving birth, without kids. Because if you're sleeping around and just making different bunch of kids, you are far more wicked and selfish. All right, TJ, are you
Yeah,
back?
I'm back.
Now,
I'm back.
I was
Sorry
saying,
about that.
yeah, the question you asked me, you said which is more selfish, sleeping around or leaving the kids? I mean, going with the kids, living with the
So
kids, right?
in regards to that
But I
question,
was
right?
saying this. Wait, I
Okay.
deduced this that
Okay.
if you're sleeping around, I was asking, are you sleeping around making kids, or
No,
okay,
you're
you're
not sleeping
not.
around making kids. Yeah,
Okay,
you're
okay,
sleeping
good.
around,
Yeah,
but you're still like releasing your seed, right? Which
but
is
you're not.
basically like
No, you're not making. You're not making.
you're not making kids.
No
Yeah,
kids. Yeah. So that's a better situation. It's useless. Is a far. These are two very
but
stupid
you agree
situations.
that both are selfish,
But
right?
they are both selfish. They're
They're
both
both selfish.
selfish. You get me? They're both selfish. But the
Uh,
most selfish will be living with the kids, because when you live
of
with the
course.
kids, at the end of the day, you probably still want to sleep with someone, which which in its own. Except the only situation when I say you live with the kids, if you live with the kids and get married to a better man, a more stable man, a man of principle, a man that is well disciplined, right? You've given them a stepdad, a better dad in a sense. So I think that's the only situation where you living with the kids will be, ideal, honestly, because marriage to me, nothing in this life belongs to anybody. You came here with nothing. You came here with absolutely nothing, and you're going to live with absolutely nothing. So what makes you think that anything you gain here is yours? Your wife,
That's actually I think that's in scripture. You usually quoted scripture right now.
yeah. So your
You
wife,
literally quoted scripture. I think it's in Timothy actually.
your
In Timothy.
wife, your wife is there to help you. Is there to help you grow and achieve stuff, grow a family, grow what that. But tomorrow she can wake up and decide she's done with this relationship, even if you were OBS.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. So
All right.
yeah.
Bring
So
that back.
again, the topic is actually not in my is not actually not my title, but we're talking about, for those of you guys joining, we're talking about should the partner
Okay.
leave or stay when they're in a toxic relationship with young kids involved. So if
Yeah, and we've
there's
diverted
abuse,
to 3 or 4
physical
topics
abuse.
after that. But
Yeah,
that's why you come early for the show. When you see TJ's notification, you click on it
exactly.
immediately.
You click on that, like you
That's
don't
why.
waste time.
That's why you don't waste
So
time.
and then we branched into all this selfishness and stuff like that, narcissism. But again, yeah, the next branch we're going to go into is actually the effect on the kids now, because we can see, like, in society today, this is how I see it, right? And this is the research I've done as well. Like in society today, right now, we know that like if you look at statistics, right? Statistically, and you guys can research Google this right now. Statistically, um, kids in jail, like 80% of kids in jail
Guys, I need to
from
stand up for a beat. Like my
single
thighs
mother
bloody.
homes or like single parent homes, mostly like single mother homes. Like people involved in crime and all this stuff. A majority of the percentages like are single mother children, right? And so it doesn't mean that if you come from that you're going to be that. It's
Yeah,
not like
but
correlation
the
equals causation.
likelihood.
There's a higher likelihood,
Yeah.
and so to decrease this is what we're saying. Like it's better to stay for the kids. That's why we're saying it's better to stay. Obviously, we know the wife or the husband is going through a lot in that situation. But you have to think about marriage as a duty. You came into the marriage to produce kids, and so their life before yours. And so you guys should be able to fix whatever is going on as adults,
Mm-hmm.
through yourselves or counseling, because life is not easy, man.
At all.
So, but you have to think of the kids. You want them to come into the life and have the best possible life, and the best possible life for the kids is a life with two parents involved. And
Facts.
the common arguments, right? The common arguments we can hear is, oh, what if the kids see us fighting? Let's go into that. Like, what if
Mm-hmm.
the kids see the abuse and stuff like that, and like, what's the best? Like, if
Then
I
stop
stay in that
fighting.
situation and it persists, then blah 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 blah. I think
Stop
again,
fighting.
I'll let you talk, right? I think it's you're in it. Thanks, bro. Thanks for joining in. I think it's
Have
better.
a good one, buddy.
for the-
God
Yeah, I
bless.
think it's better for the kids to still see both of you in the house. At least, even if you're faking love, you're kissing each other, faking love. It's better that way because at least it's better for their psychological, like, you know, it's better
Yeah.
for them psychologically, emotionally, a lot of
Yeah.
ways
Like
than
sorry to cut you. Like I've said before, guys. To avoid the fighting, right? You guys can separate, like, for a while, but within that separation, during that separation, the kids have to go and live here and live there. I don't think it should just stay in one. Like, they need both. It's not going to be the best situation, but if that's hitting, and bro, she can die, he can die. So you guys should keep yourselves alive, because if anybody dies, automatically it becomes a single parent home. You get me? Automatically, like, there's no fixing it except you go and get married to someone else. So stay alive, right? Separate, and avoid that physical contact, because that is also very bad too for the kids. But I feel there is no amount of I feel there's nothing a calm discussion and
thanks in
true
it.
show of a calm discussion and true share of feelings cannot at least feel like you I feel you can do so much with actually speaking to somebody in a very calm, understanding manner. Like, man or woman, like whoever is going through the abuse, like, just calm down and try and talk with your spouse. Like, you know who you like. That's one problem I have. Like, imagine you getting married to your imagine you being so delusional that you get married to someone on a normal scale is just a beast. Why will you? I don't see. That's why, honestly, I don't find that, like, except you, like I said, you just want to please society, right? So
The reason let me give you a possible reason. Like, I don't know if but a possible reason might be just you just want children. Do you get what I'm saying?
you
And
are
maybe
very
like
the person is not okay.
no, hold on. And maybe
Hey.
you're getting like you're literally past your time, like,
Mm-hmm.
and you just want kids.
They are
Like, say
kids.
you're
They're
like
already kids. Go and adopt
exactly, but
some.
you want
Go
to
and
have your
adopt
own
some.
kids, and you just do it like for your own sake, and you start complaining. I'm just saying that might be a
There are
possible
already
reason.
kids in this world that have no
But
parents.
people
So
are really
if you
stingy in
want
this world.
kids, you can start with the ones that are already here. So I don't know why you now feel, because hey God, I don't know the reason. No, there are it's just like saying you want a brand new shoe when the shoe you've worn is just a day old. You get me? So you need to use that one first, though, brother. You've not taken care of the one that is a day old. You now want to create something new, and you have
This guy
zero.
in it said, "I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna be real. I'm a male who's gone through a long-term relationship when my
Holy.
female partner was relationship with a mother who was abusive to my dad. It's interesting hearing your perspectives, and I'm glad I tuned in."
Holy, that's a lot, man. welcome to the stream, and
But guys,
I appreciate it,
we're gonna
man.
wrap it up and play Fortnite because I actually have to like go in like an hour, so we'll play
Yeah,
Fortnite for a
so
bit.
play
Yeah.
some games,
And then-
guys. But it was quite a
But yeah, guys,
discussion.
so
It
like
was quite a
follow
discussion.
follow LoveGator as well on
LoveGator is
YouTube.
the name. Follow TJ Rockstar on Twitch.
Yeah, I do gaming
His
and
name is
podcasts.
Syncopator IR. I don't think
Yeah,
you.
I'm gonna change my name very
He's
soon.
a
Like,
Syncopator in real life,
I'm a
but
Syncopator, yeah. So
so
if you know, you know.
you know. It's not by what. It's not by
It's
say
not
it
by
again.
that.
Say that thing again. You posted on
It's
Insta.
not by it's not by being serious when I make controlling. It is not by that.
That will be the quote of the season. It's not by
It is
being
not by that.
serious when your mates are trolling. So with that being
It has
said,
never
guys,
been by that.
hit that like button.
Church himself.
Click this video here if you want to watch more informational content about life and love. But with that being said, thank you guys for coming into this beautiful podcast. Thank you, TJ. Thank you. What do you say his name was on your Twitch? He kept on interacting with us and giving us good takes.
Turn off.
God bless you, man. And with that being said, this is the end of the stream. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.
Yeah, you know streaming Fortnite.
That will be on my main channel.
Oh, your main channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, yeah. Thank you guys so much.